Hi there, I'm Katy Rose and welcome to the Rooted Reinvention, a podcast exploring the real-world journey of reinventing who we are without burning out or burning our whole life down. I teach people how to make lasting change by melding my Masters of Neuroscience and my Cognitive Therapy qualification with common self-help tools, spiritual concepts, and my personal experience. Because being yourself doesn't need to feel so damn hard. To get more information on podcast episodes, please visit rootedreinvention.com/podcast. So last week I spoke about how April had been a bit of an experimentation month and that I had technically done less and aimed to do less in terms of productivity, in terms of working on specific things, and kind of exploring what would fill the gaps and how I would feel. And it's now May, and I can honestly say that I'm not 100% well. I do not have COVID. I test twice a week, and I am fully vaccinated, just for part of my day job. So, yep, don't have any symptoms of COVID, but I'm not feeling 100%. I've got a little bit of tightness in my throat, I've got a bit of a headache, and I'm just kind of aching in general. Again, nothing to do with COVID to my knowledge. I had my second dose nearly 6 weeks ago, so it's not related to that in my opinion. And yeah, it's fine. I'm working through it. And it's just a reminder, I think, that although we're very aware of the coronavirus at the moment, that there are still other general bugs and germs and colds going around, and that's okay, and they will still happen. Even though we're taking all the precautions for other things, there's going to be some level of normal kind of winter illnesses, as it were. And I say winter because it's been cold this week, even though it's May. So I'm not 100% well. I am fine, but yeah, definitely not feeling, at my best. And this week in England we had elections. They're not the kind of big, proper, full-on ones, but they're kind of the by-elections, sort of the halfway through check-in elections, as it were. How are people feeling about things before the big one in 2 to 3 years? And essentially this has made me very angry this morning. And without going too far down the political rabbit hole, essentially there are more people now in power from the party who are selling off the National Health Service to private American businesses, who were found guilty of unlawful practice, who are pocketing our money, while UNICEF, which is a charity that usually offers aid to third world countries, is now providing food parcels because 10% of Britain's children are in food poverty. And it's just really difficult to not be angry. It's really hard to not have a bewildered feeling about what is going on in this country, that these people have been in power and this is what they're doing, this is what their proven track record is, and yet more people have voted for them this time. And that's ignoring the pandemic and the Brexit issues, so I'm not even going there. So today I thought, what do we do with such a whirlwind of experience when we're tired, when we're ill, when we don't know how much we can kind of handle of our to-do list because we're kind of in need of slowing down if we're not well, and we've got this kind of anger, this frustration, this confusion going on. So I thought I'd just talk about kind of emotional whirlwinds and how I tend to respond to them. As always, your mileage may vary. We are all different people. This is just my experience, with a little bit of background from my cognitive behavioral therapy qualification and my degrees in psychology and neuroscience. So I've got a little bit of understanding of how the human mind works, rather than just reading a couple of books on it, but equally completely appreciate everyone experiences things differently. Do what works for you, take what works for you, and leave the rest. But my first step is exercise and showering. So animals shake to release pent-up energy after a danger has passed. So if you've ever seen your cat startle at the doorbell or your dog kind of freeze in the park, And kind of once everything's gone and they've gone and investigated and worked out what it is, or they've gone and hidden, they tend to come out and they do a big stretch. If it's a cat, at least, they definitely do that big stretch. Or again, dogs and cats do this kind of shake where they just kind of shake their body out. And what this does is it's kind of a little messenger to your body to say, oh, the danger has passed, we can relax now. And therefore, exercise, or even just having a shake, I know it sounds very weird, but like shaking off the anxiety or the frustration or the bleh, technical terms, is one of the best ways I find to kind of reset, like my heart rate being faster, my breathing, that anxious feeling in my stomach, just to kind of get that out, because anger is a response to a perceived danger. We only feel angry when something feels a threat, whether it's something we believe in, whether it's something that we own or belongs to us, or someone we care about. So my first step is some form of exercise and or shaking, just to kind of get the adrenaline through my system, get it used up, get it kind of ticking all the boxes so that my body can then revert to being its usual lovely relaxed self. And then I find bathing very helpful metaphorically to kind of wash away the grime, as it were, or kind of, especially if I've just done exercise or my heart rate was going or I'm sweating, just washing your face, neck and arms and hands, having a shower, having a bath, anything like that. I just feel more human. I feel like I'm more stable, I'm kind of rooted when I'm clean, when I brush my hair, when I'm wearing fresh clothes. It's a gift to myself to kind of put me back into a mindset and an environment that is at least not making everything worse, essentially. And then my third step is kind of a mixture of two things. So it's like an either or, but also an and, just to be fun. So sometimes I create. So I draw, I dance, I sing, I write, I do art journaling. I'll make a new playlist. I'll do a bit of origami. I will cut up one of the boxes for the cats and put some treats in it. Like anything where I am using that energy and putting it into something that's positive. And then on the flip side, so the other sort of half of this, the second thing, is to just release, to almost exhale the feeling. And that can be further exercise. It can be like journaling your feelings. So actually, rather than art journaling to be creative, you're just like bleh, getting it all out on the page. Crying is a really good one that I use a lot for releasing my emotions. Clenching fists, ripping paper, hitting a cushion. Or equally, watching a comedy TV show or a Disney movie that you love and laughing. I find that again, it gets us breathing normally again. It kind of moves our body physically through that emotion, and so we can come out the other side. So I would love to know how you manage those kind of emotional whirlwinds in the moment, what works for you and what doesn't. As always, you can go to the show notes at rootedreinvention.com/podcast and leave a comment on the particular episode there. But yeah, I just wanted to share that. As I say, I'm not feeling 100%. I wanted to keep this kind of a little bit shorter today, but I also thought it might be helpful just to share like what I've done. So this morning I've got up, I've exercised, I've listened to a mixture of happy and sad music, depending at what point in the process I was. And now I'm going to do some journaling and some art journaling. So I'm going to do a little bit of both. And I might cry, and then I might put a comedy DVD on or something. So that's kind of where I'm at today. Or I might not cry and not need to put a comedy DVD on, and I might just go about my day. I've got to hang the washing up, there's things to be done. But as always, thank you so much for listening. I do hope you're all well. If you're in England and you're disheartened by the political landscape, you are not alone. And I hope some of these tips might help just to process some of those feelings that will be going on for a lot of us at the moment. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll see you again next week. Bye. Thanks for listening, and as always, you can find out more at rootedreinvention.com. Take care, remember you are more capable than you often realise, and I'll see you next time. Bye!